Liam is a walking zombie in a suit, an overworked office drone who hasn't had a good night's sleep in a decade. His job is a nightmare more toxic than a reality show reunion, but he powers through it for the sake of his loving wife, Mika, and their adorable daughter, Konami. One evening, Liam drags himself home and is greeted by Mika, who tells him Konami has been obsessing over getting a dog ever since she saw a Shiba Inu at her friend's house. At first, Liam isn't sure they can afford a pet, but one look at his sleeping daughter's peaceful face is all it takes to convince him. If a dog makes her happy, he'll make it work even if it means pulling extra shifts. The next day, he takes Konami to a pet shop, and her joy is worth every bit of exhaustion. Mika is surprised he agreed to it, knowing how much he already has on his plate, but Liam just wants to keep his family smiling. He figures that as long as they're happy, he can handle whatever life throws at him. The following day, his boss explodes at him over a late report, one that Liam actually sent on time. Naturally, Liam still gets blamed. His workplace is a war zone, where his colleagues steal credit for his work and dump their mistakes on him. But at least he can come home to Mika and Konami, his little island of sanity. One morning, while heading to work, Liam gets a message from his buddy Nita, a hardcore Gundam fan begging him to pick up the latest model kit. Amused, Liam agrees and hops off the train to find the store. But as he navigates through unfamiliar streets, he spots something that makes his blood run cold. Mika, out on a date with some random guy. She had told him she was taking Konami to sword practice. So why is she here? That night, Liam casually asks Mika about her day. She lies, saying she only dropped Konami off at practice. His heart clenches. He wants to call her out, to demand an explanation. But instead, he convinces himself that he must have misunderstood. No way Mika would cheat on him. The next day, to clear his head, he takes a walk and ends up near the place where he saw Mika earlier. She's not there, and for a moment, he feels relief. Then, he hears her voice. She's on the phone with him. And worse, Konami is there too. Liam tells himself this mystery man must just be a good friend. Then, he hears Konami call the guy Papa. His world collapses. At work, he tries to distract himself, but his boss isn't having it. He chews Liam out for slacking off when all Liam did was restart his slow computer. His boss suggests a brilliant solution: just never take breaks. Before Liam can even process that insanity, Mika calls. Konami's been in a terrible accident. Liam bolts to the hospital. When he arrives, the doctor asks for a blood donor. Liam volunteers, but there's a problem: his blood type doesn't match Konami's. Mika, however, is a perfect match. Confused, Liam does a quick Google search and realizes something horrifying. It is genetically impossible for Konami to be his daughter. He confronts Mika, demanding the truth. She doesn't deny it. Instead, she flips the script, making him the villain. She accuses him of never being around, of being a failure who works himself to the bone for a dead-end job. She conveniently ignores the fact that Konami isn't his child. Liam is reeling, but Mika isn't done. She declares she's taking Konami and leaving. Liam, still processing the betrayal, asks where she plans to go. She doesn't answer, just knocks on Konami's door and telling her that they are going to leave. Liam tries to stop Mika, but she pulls away. Desperate, he yells that he's always done his best for Konami and begs her not to leave. But Konami delivers the final blow: she prefers her other dad. Liam's hope shatters. The next day, still reeling from the betrayal, he drags himself to work. Just when he thinks things can't get worse, his boss calls him over. Turns out, someone transferred 50 million yen from Liam's computer to a random account, and now he's being accused of embezzlement. Liam denies it, but the boss isn't buying it. Fired on the spot. With no job, Mika wastes no time filing for divorce and even sues him for child support for a kid that isn't even his. To avoid jail for the alleged embezzlement, Liam agrees to pay back the money by working construction. But let's be real, he's never paying that off in this lifetime. His life is officially ruined. The only thing keeping him going? Nida. He gets a message from him about the latest Gundam episode. Liam almost replies, suggesting they watch it together, but deletes the message. He doesn't want Nida to see how miserable he's become. He tells himself that if he just works hard, things will get better. Then, while eating lunch, he coughs up blood. Brunkhead's knocking on death's door. That night, his cough gets worse, but with no money for treatment, all he can do is lie in bed, waiting for the inevitable. Just as the light starts fading from his eyes, another light appears, a vision, and what it shows pisses him off. Turns out, his boss was the real thief, using Liam's computer to cover his tracks. Oh, and Mika. She was never a loving wife, just a gold digger who saw Liam as an ATM. In fact, she was in on the whole scheme to frame him. The final insult? She was cheating on him with his boss. Liam's heartbreak turns to pure rage. A mysterious man appears, asking if he's really gonna let these scumbags get away with it. Liam, at his limit, swears revenge. The man seems very pleased with this answer. He introduces himself, not that it really matters, and reveals that he's here to offer Liam a fresh start in another world. Liam, half convinced he's hallucinating, figures he might as well roll with it. If he's choosing a new world, it better be cool. Then he remembers Nida talking about a Gundam-style world. That sounds fun. The mysterious man warns that it's a world of both sci-fi and magic, where nobility runs the show. Liam could end up a lowly farmer. But since the man likes his style, he'll do him a solid, reincarnate him as the son of a count who rules a planet. Liam, finally catching a break, uses his dying breath to sign the iSky contract. His soul leaves his ruined life behind, heading straight for his new destiny. On the planet Hydra, it's Liam's 5th birthday, and his mother has planned a party for him. She also has a special gift, a cube that lets him customize his very own AI maid. Using a remote, he can choose its appearance and features, and once he's done, it'll be sent for production. Liam is confused about why a 5-year-old would need an AI maid, but his mother insists it's important. Then, his father steps in with an even bigger surprise: the entire Banfield estate. There's just one catch. Liam has to agree to give his parents a monthly allowance so they can retire in peace. Blinded by the promise of power, Liam eagerly signs the contract without reading it, completely unaware that he's probably just been scammed. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the mysterious entity responsible for Liam's misfortune isn't done yet. As Liam's old boss and co-worker Mika celebrate their betrayal, the police show up and arrest the boss for framing Liam. Mika, now without her sugar daddy, is left completely broke. The entity relishes in their suffering, but its ultimate goal is to send Liam to another world where he'll endure even greater misery, one that will last centuries. In the new world, an epic battle is unfolding. The ghost pirates think they have the upper hand until Princess Christiana of the Holy Kingdom of Labe arrives. She single-handedly turns the tide, forcing the pirates into retreat. But she isn't done yet. She orders her army to keep attacking to make an example out of them. Back to Liam, he finally receives his AI maid, Amagi, who arrives packaged like a doll. His butler explains that Amagi will serve as his personal aide, available 24/7, reminds him that AI are frowned upon in the Empire. Liam learns that humanity was once enslaved by AI during the Great Skynet War, which is why the nobility despises them. So why did his mother gift him an AI maid? His butler reluctantly reveals the truth. His parents abandoned him and dumped the massive family debt on his tiny shoulders. Liam is furious. His great-grandfather was a legend, but his father ruined everything. The Banfield estate is drowning in debt, their resources are gone, and the tax revenue is non-existent. In other words, Liam is royally screwed. The people in the territory aren't thrilled either, worried that a new ruler means higher taxes. Realizing his parents only had him as a financial scapegoat, Liam swears he won't let history repeat itself. He turns to Amagi for help, and she gladly offers her assistance. To ensure she stays loyal, Liam tweaks Asimov's 3 laws of robotics to suit his needs. Amagi must never harm him. She must obey all his orders unless it conflicts with Rule 1. She must protect herself unless it conflicts with Rules 1 or 2. To turn his fortunes around, Amagi suggests an education capsule, a device that can cram 10 years' worth of knowledge into his brain in just 6 months while also improving his body. Liam likes the idea, but he needs someone to oversee the estate while he's in there. Against the butler's protests, he temporarily hands control over to Amagi. Before stepping into the capsule, Liam asks Amagi if she can feel emotions. She hesitates but admits that when Liam asked her to team up with him, it triggered something in her system that felt like happiness. Satisfied, Liam places his trust in her and enters the pod, ready to prepare for the long road ahead. The so-called guide deity is really just a detached cosmic parasite, feeding off human misery. Having already toyed with Liam, his wife, and her lover, he's back on Earth, scouting his next victim. His latest target, a young woman at a noodle shop, just moments away from enjoying the best meal of her life until she snaps open her chopsticks, and one breaks unevenly. In Japanese culture, that's a bad omen, signaling misfortune or even death. But guess what? The chopsticks didn't just break by chance, the deity made it happen, delighting in the storm of negative emotions brewing inside her over such a trivial mishap. Meanwhile, back in Liam's world, his maid, Amagi, patiently waits for his awakening in front of a high-tech pod. And Liam wakes up only to realize he's been asleep for 2 years. His body has been bulked up thanks to the pod's night-raising program, but for him, it felt like just a few seconds. With his new physique, he needs time to adjust, and Amagi suggests rehab. Liam, always the businessman, immediately asks about his territory, Banfield. Amagi, ever the reliable AI, gives him a full economic report. Turns out, she's been running things like a pro, governing Banfield efficiently. Liam praises her but insists on seeing the progress with his own eyes. What he finds blows him away. Amagi has built a spaceport for Banfield's army and even a floating dock in the sky, packed with robots and spaceships. Eager to test out his new toys, Liam visits the floating dock and is thrilled at the sight of massive battle matches. He wastes no time hopping into one, and Amagi guides him through the basics. The mech moves based on magic, whatever Liam imagines it does. Naturally, he gets the hang of it quickly but soon gets bored. He asks Amagi for some combat practice, so she summons Captain M from the Banfield army as his sparring partner. Liam goes all in, smashing his sword against M's shield and sending him flying. But something feels off. M gave up way too easily. Annoyed, Liam demands that M take the fight seriously. M obliges, and within seconds, Liam is disarmed and pinned to the ground. A brutal reality check. If he wants to be a true warrior, he needs proper training. Ignoring his chamberlain's doubts about whether a lord should fight, Liam hires a master swordsman, Yushi, to be his sensei. Yushi, a mysterious man with a katana, gives a cryptic speech about how no one can truly be the best. Amagi finds him utterly cringe-worthy, but Liam is too intrigued to care. Yushi then demonstrates a flashy sword technique without even drawing his sword. He slices a bunch of logs clean in half. Stunned, Liam asks Amagi to replay it in slow motion, only to realize Yushi never actually drew his sword at all. Instead of being skeptical, Liam is even more determined to learn from him. What he doesn't know: Yushi is a complete fraud. The logs were pre-cut, and his whole technique is a sham. Watching from his dimension, the guide deity is having a blast, probably the one who sent Yushi in the first place. Meanwhile, Princess Knight Christiana receives a peace offer from an enemy pirate gang. She heads to their base with her fleet, only to walk into a trap. The pirate leader, Go, never intended to negotiate. While she's away, his forces invade her home planet, Mysteria. Worse, her own allies have betrayed her, siding with Go for a hefty bribe. With thousands of ships aiming their weapons at her, Go smugly declares that her rule is over unless she obeys him. Fast forward 3 years, and Liam is still training under Yushi. Despite all this time, he has yet to master the flash technique because, well, it doesn't exist. He's gotten decent at martial arts, but he's unsatisfied. Meanwhile, Yushi continues to scam Liam, living the easy life while pretending to be a legendary swordsman. One day, Liam insists on learning an advanced technique, pushing Yushi to the edge. Desperate to keep up the act, Yushi banishes Liam from his school, saying he's too eager and hasn't mastered the basics. Instead of seeing through the lie, Liam begs for forgiveness and apologizes for his ignorance. Pleased with his money-making scheme, Yushi reluctantly lets him stay. Later, Liam even apologizes with extra cash, much to Yushi's delight. The conman is over the moon, but his celebration is cut short when Liam returns just to say he won't be coming to class the next day. Of course, Yushi couldn't care less. As long as the money keeps flowing, he's happy. Meanwhile, Christiana has been taken hostage by the Go's pirates, and she is currently being held in Captain Go's room. When she demanded to know what he planned to do with her, Go simply smirked and said he wanted to give her front row seats to the show. At first, she was confused. Then came the lights, camera, annihilation moment. Go ordered every ship in his fleet to aim their cannons at her home planet. She realizes what he is planning to do, so she goes to stop, but it's too late. He orders his men to open fire, and just like that, she had a front row seat to the worst fireworks display in the galaxy. Back at his palace, Liam lounges on his throne, complaining about the struggles of training. Amagi interrupts with an economic update. Debt remains unchanged, but production and sales are booming. Liam praises her efficiency and considers letting her handle more governance in the future. Amagi is flattered but admits that their welfare program hasn't performed as expected. Surprised, Liam asks the million-dollar question: who's responsible for this mess? Enter a shady official, a short, sweaty man with a talent for bending the truth. He tries to flex his financial skills, but Liam isn't buying it. When questioned about switching vendors, the man insists it was for the better, but Liam calls him out for lying. The real kicker? He's been bribing vendors and embezzling funds, all while blaming his subordinates. Liam, unimpressed, wonders if he should take notes on corruption until he realizes the guy isn't even good at it. As the shorty scrambles to defend himself, Liam has had enough. Sword in hand, he slowly approaches, asking if the man enjoys throwing his people under the bus. The official panics, insisting that all nobles do this and that he deserves luxury for his hard work. Liam disagrees with a swift slice. Standing over the lifeless man, he declares that no one touches his people or his money except him. Amagi, ever the voice of reason, stops Liam before he goes on a rampage and suggests a smarter approach, creating 30 AI-powered dolls to handle governance instead of relying on corrupt humans. Liam loves the idea. Even if people might complain, progress is progress. News spreads fast. Liam executed a corrupt official, and now he's extending compulsory education from 3 to 6 years, leading to more schools being built. People are impressed, especially since he's only 10 years old. Later, Liam trains with giant mechas, hoping to pilot one like a true warrior, until his so-called master shows up to crush his excitement. The old man tells him that using regular machines is beneath him. Instead, Liam should control something truly powerful. Intrigued, Liam asks for options and learns about a legendary, non-automatic mech that once belonged to his great-grandfather. Now, he's determined to make it his own.